What's up, you guys? Welcome back into iHeartRadio's official wrestling podcast, the Battleground Podcast. It is Battle, and man, all eyes were on TNA over the weekend for Slammiversary. Out here breaking records, man. It was an incredible weekend for sure. And joining us on the show today is the president of TNA, Carlos Silva, joins us. Carlos, man, thanks for coming on the show and being a part of it with us today.
Oh, that's great. Great to be here. Nice to see you, Tim.
It's great to have you on here. So let's just dive right into it. Slammiversary breaking records, 7,623 fans. That is the largest North American TNA crowd ever, eclipsing a record that has kind of just withheld the stand of time since 2013. Let me ask you, what were the key tactics that made this possible, and how does this shift your event location strategy moving forward?
Well, it's great. You sort of teed me up there around event strategy and location. I mean, being in New York City, being at a beautiful arena at UBS Arena, home of the Islanders, where championship banners hang. The New York crowd really rallied around us. And I think as we've looked at our schedule coming off of some other great cities like Los Angeles, that we had such a great event earlier in the year, I think we've continued to build it. I think being in major cities matters. The fan base, the feeling of being in a major NFL, NBA, NHL city is something that has always been something that I've tried to do. And so I think we will continue it. We'll certainly look to leverage that again. I mean, we're going later this year in October now to Bound for Glory, which is going to be outside of Boston. Again, leveraging that Boston fan base in Lowell, which is just a half hour outside of Boston and part of the whole region. And so we're going to keep doing it, Tim. I think it's critical to be in these major cities for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And, the one thing as I was scrolling through social media on Sunday night, there was a photo that kept popping up, and it goes back to a photo from the arena from 2013. I'm going to show it to you here real quick from Slammiversary. Now, this was from 2013, and you look at that, and it's like a lot of empty seats. And this was the big marquee event for TNA. And then you look at what you did this past Sunday, and obviously leaps and bounds from 2013. Obviously, even more leaps and bounds in just a year since you taking over.
No, appreciate that. I mean, look, most people may or may not know TNA is 23 years old. We just celebrated our 23-year anniversary. I think it's important that for a sports and entertainment franchise to be around for that long is not easy. There's certainly been some ups and downs along the way, some bumps in the road, but a whole lot of successes. And I think we take that history and we build on it. And I think as I've been here now, this will be just my 7th month. We've tried to lay out some real short-term and long-term goals, but you got to hit your short-term goals. And every 30 days, every 60 days, we try and make a little noise, try and help everyone understand that TNA is growing. And I think it all continued to build right up to Slammiversary. The fans paid it off for us in a big way by coming out and celebrating with us. And the wrestlers did what they always do, and they absolutely kicked ass in the ring and just put on a great night for all the wrestling fans. It was a great feeling. I was saying to some of our teammates today that it didn't just feel like another TNA event. It really felt like a wrestling event. It felt like the fans were like, I was at Slammiversary. And I think that's a interesting little nuance, and it really felt good being there.
Yeah, you definitely felt the fan presence through the TV when I was watching it on Sunday for sure. And you talk about making some noise and making headlines. A lot of people talking about the accelerated partnership with WWE and NXT has delivered some headline moments. I mean, you had AJ Styles return to WWE. You've now got this final showdown between the Hardys and the Dudleys. How do partnerships factor into TNA's long-term growth?
Look, I think over the last sort of 60, 90 days, the WWE and NXT partnership is accelerated, probably coming off of WrestleMania with Joe running into Allegiant Stadium, home of the Raiders, in front of 70,000 plus fans and holding the TNA championship belt up. I think that really was maybe the first trigger point, but working with the NXT guys on a weekly basis and understanding sort of the movement of our wrestlers both up and down and sideways in working also with AAA, that's now part of the WWE family after they announced that at WrestleMania. Everyone's been really great to work with. It's been very positive. It's been very collaborative. And I think that's why we're getting things done, and we're getting things done quickly. And it's one of the reasons that AJ Styles came out and was part of Slammiversary, a great homecoming for him. And I think a testament to the partnership.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, as a fan of TNA since day one, I was there, not the first show in Alabama, but I was there for the second show at Municipal Auditorium. And then I was at every show on Wednesday after that at the fairgrounds. Like, it's really cool to see how far TNA has come from those days at the fairgrounds to now, headlining UBS Arena and selling out multiple venues across the country, and eventually selling out multiple venues across the world, because I see big things happening for TNA, which is very exciting. And again, we talk about AJ Styles returned to TNA. You teased it a little bit. You said, Slammiversary is going to be phenomenal, and then all of a sudden we get the announcement AJ is going to be there. He kind of endorsed Leon Slater, and he passed that torch to him. How influential was that appearance, and what does it signal about TNA's investment in new talent like Leon Slater?
Look, I think it was just one of the. I mean, there was a lot of highlights from Slammiversary the other night. I mean, so many great matches on the knockout side. On the men's side, a great ladder match. But I think that, like any good show, there is a great beginning, middle, and end. And I think AJ really hit a super high point going in, coming out of the X Division title, the transition with Leon. I mean, the best part of the night was if you saw Leon's reaction when AJ came out. I mean, it was spectacular.
He was a fan for that brief second when we heard that old AJ theme.
Seconds, he was totally a fan, and it was infectious. It was really great. And I think AJ felt that as well. And you could see it touched him. And I think it was a great moment for him to come back to TNA and be there, as the guy that helped build TNA and also the X Division, obviously. So it was a great moment. I think we're going to have more of it. We're going to keep creating these sort of positive relationships and moments that are great for the fans. That's the business that we're in.
Yeah, absolutely. And you mentioned the moments for the fans, and I go back to an interview that we had with the Hardy Boys back in March. We kind of talked to them about, hey, what if this ever was to happen? Could we get one final match with the Dudley Boys? And of course, Matt and Jeff had some comments. We're now getting that match at Bound for Glory. How are you planning to ride that wave into October? With the momentum off of Slammiversary, you've got the Dudleys and the Hardy Boys one last time, and there's still more things to come leading up to that event in October.
Well, look, I mean, everyone that's a TNA fan, certainly over the last year, knows what it's like when the Hardys come into the arena and on television. I mean, they light it up. I mean, maybe one or two notes into their entrance song, everybody's, rocking and rolling and bringing them out. And now you add the Dudleys to that together. Look, it becomes a great anchor as we move towards Bound for Glory. There's going to be a whole lot of great drama and stories as we build between now and then. We're in Rhode Island just Thursday night and Friday night. So it doesn't take long, as in the wrestling space, to turn things around and say, what have you done for me lately now? And so we get right back to it, and we'll just keep building it and building it. But yeah, it was great to make that announcement at Slammiversary. I think it was also another great moment bringing two legendary tag teams together for the fans. And I think everyone's going to be excited to see it in October at Bound for Glory.
Yeah, absolutely. Me and a buddy of mine have already started kind of planning out our trip to get up there for October for that. Cause I was like, we have to. It's like the one last time. It's like if, Paul McCartney and Ringo said, hey, we're going to get back together for one time and this is it. You go see them regardless of where it's at. And very excited to see that match happening in October. Recently, again, TNA making a lot of headlines. Eric Bischoff recently had some comments about TNA, said that just one deal away from becoming a major player, that if you land the right TV deal, the sky's the limit. Now, you've talked about chasing a broadcast deal. Any update? Like, how close are we to making this thing happen? And what would it mean for TNA to get that big TV deal?
I think every day it gets closer. I certainly think Slammiversary and the kind of fan social, the buzz, talking with you and so many others now that we've gone past it, all of it matters. But like every of these things, and I've done it throughout my career, you need to work hard every single day to be there. And if you work hard every single day to be there and you perform and the product's great, then you get lucky. Luck doesn't just happen because it happens. It happens because we keep doing these things every single day. That's going to be what gets us a TV deal. Look, everyone notices the media space is about buzz. It's about creating this feeling of getting bigger and growing. And that's exactly what we're doing. So is it going to help? Yeah. Is it done yet? No, it's not done yet, but I'm working on it today and I'm working on it tomorrow. And it's my focus to get that done. And there's a couple of different options that we're working on, and we're going to keep pushing every day.
Absolutely. And we're excited to scroll through social media when you make that announcement about the TV deal that's happening. And speaking of social media, a lot of fans like to go and talk. They've been talking about Slammiversary. Obviously, Trick Williams, JC is your current champions, both WWE rostered talent. Some fans upset that current TNA talent aren't the current champions. How do you respond to those fans? But also, how valuable are these interbrand storylines in boosting fan excitement?
Look, how do you respond? You respond that I understand and I get it. And if you saw the look on my face.
Oh, I saw it. That was the first thing I texted my buddy. I was like, man, Carlos is not happy handing his titles over.
Look, I mean, that's all part of wrestling. I think there were some great payoffs at Slammiversary with, Leon, who we spoke about. And, there's going to be some great payoffs as we build again to Bound for Glory. But these are the paths that happen here as you build these matchups. And so, look, for the fans, I guess what I'd say is I'm glad the fans are talking about it. That means that we matter, and it means that they care and we care, and we're going to keep growing it together.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Carlos Silva is on, president of TNA. Another great thing that you just see TNA making strides. TNA's YouTube channel surpassed 5 million subscribers. Instagram hit 1 million followers. Obviously, in this day and age of social media, how are you leveraging digital metrics to shape creative and marketing decisions?
Oh, it's everything we do. I mean, we've been in and around the digital disruption space for 25 plus years. We've got a great team that we've brought together that understand how to do it. They understand how to use digital to help people find the arena, get in the arena, sell tickets, but also to grow the story in between all of our events. I mean, there's a lot of days where you're not at a live event. There's way more days that you're not at a live event than there are. And so the way that we tell stories, the way that we engage the fans, the way that our wrestlers do such an amazing job on social is 100% part of our content strategy. It's part of our distribution strategy. It continues to grow. We keep hitting bigger numbers. And I have to tell you, having partners with WWE and NXT is amazing when they're also supporting us with their, huge numbers on social media, both at WWE and WWE NXT, because all of that creates, more noise, more positive feelings, more fan engagement. And that's what the game is all about. It's how we continue to all grow.
Right, for sure. And, again, it's one of those exciting things because you would have never thought WWE stepping out of their own sandbox and working with other people. But when we started seeing this collab with TNA and, you have TNA champions being mentioned on WWE program. Like you said, Joe Hendry shows up at WrestleMania. That place loses it. There's TNA's title there. Royal Rumble moments. When you work with a company like WWE and you've got these storylines, how much creative goes into it? Like, is it a joint thing, or do they kind of say, hey, we're going to do this, but you could sprinkle in this? Like, obviously you're collabing together, but how does that all work with the creative process of storylines?
Yeah, look, it goes both ways. I mean, we make suggestions, they make suggestions. some things that happened in Slammiversary. We had some thoughts that then they actually made some great suggestions too. And we made some tweaks here and there. It's easy. It's been a lot of text messages, a lot of quick calls, a lot of sort of just collaborating together. And that's when you've got a good partnership, that you can just shoot a quick text message and get something done. They reach out to us, we reach out to them, and we're really talking to them probably every few days, depending on where we go. There's so many shows. Trick was on last night on WWE with the TNA belt. Tonight, there's some stuff happening on the CW every single week. And so it's just been easy, and it's been a pleasure to work with everyone down at NXT with Shawn Michaels and Johnny Russo. It's been a pleasure to work with everyone on the WWE side around bringing AJ Styles to Slammiversary. So we'll just keep doing it. We'll keep staying positive and keep trying to figure out ways to make everyone get excited.
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely exciting because, again, you go back 2 years ago, you never thought that you would see a TNA World Heavyweight Champion on, like you said, Raw and everything. And now it's bringing even more eyes to the product and even more. So it's making everything much bigger. And speaking of bigger, after a milestone of Slammiversary record crowds, what is your vision for TNA's next 12 months beyond Bound for Glory?
I think, part of it is really getting 2026 laid out. Many people may know that I'm a sports guy and I've been in the sports and entertainment space my whole career. I want to look at our 2026 as the next season of sport for us around TNA wrestling. And so we're now already working on what we should be doing in Q1 and Q2 and beyond in 2026 so that we can get ahead of where to go, where do the storylines in the cities come together. There's a lot of nuances around not just booking venues, but going to the right cities and understanding where the wrestlers are from and how you can elevate each of what happens in the ring by each wrestler in the city that we're in. So that's already in process. That's well beyond Bound for Glory. But, there's always that combination of what does it look like 1 and 2 and 3 months out, because that's realistic and it's in the operational day-to-day that we've got now. But then we're also looking out 12 months out to see where we need to go, not just for our storylines, but also for our sponsors and our distributors.
Yeah, absolutely. TNA President Carlos Silva is on with us, and I really do appreciate you taking the time. And it's really cool to see you being active on social media. You're out and about. Scrolling through social media, you were a part of Subway Mania, which was pretty awesome in New York while you were there. Last question before we let you go, because I know you got a lot of things going on. With us being also part of a music show, I'd love to know from you, if we were to look at your playlist right now and we scroll through, what is that one song that might surprise us sitting there on Carlos's playlist?
For me on my playlist, kind of on a daily basis, that there's 2 artists that I would say that are on my daily playlist, and that's Linkin Park and Bob Marley. So those are the 2 that when I'm on my morning run and I need to find a little quiet time or get pumped up, depending on how you're feeling, it's those 2 artists.
Oh, those are 2 solid picks, Carlos. Anytime you're in Nashville, I would love for you to have a part in this morning show here. You can play as much Linkin Park and Bob Marley as you want here on the show. Carlos, it's an honor and a privilege to have you on the show. Before we let you go, anything you want to say to the fans that are watching or listening to this right now?
No, just thanks for everything around Slammiversary. We couldn't do it without everyone watching at home and everyone coming out to the stadium, and just stay tuned. There's a lot of great stuff to come between now and Bound for Glory and beyond. So just thank you.